देशतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवार्षभानुवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्य उज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगा भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरोधाप उपसिद्धाद्वंत हारिणे Hare Krishna. So we will try and receive some of the teachings, some of the instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. Whenever the Acharya appears, he becomes the source of strength, of inspiration, how to follow or how to practice the path of devotional service. How he becomes inspiration? By his own example. He shows to us, he shows to the world how to practice the path of devotional service. So he becomes a source of inspiration for all of us. And also to uplift us, to benefit us, before he leaves, he gives us instructions, set of instructions. By following those instructions, we can all progress and advance in bhakti. So this set of instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur, it is called Amritvani. It's a compilation in the form of a book, which is called Amritvani. This is the actually nectar of his instructions or nectar of speech. So I will share some of it. I found it in the internet. One moment. Okay, how to share it. You can see, should I increase the size of the font? Okay. Is it visible? Is it visible to you? Say yes or no.
Yes,
Prabhuji, the size is little, font size is little small.
Okay, I will try to increase it. Okay. So this book is compiled by Srila Prabhupada's disciple, our Srila Prabhupada's disciple. He says, absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. This gives us life anew and fresh. This is the poem which Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada composed on the appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur. So Prabhupada says that this verse sums up the mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada. There are really no adequate words to properly glorify Srila Sarasvatī Thakur. But who and what Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Prabhupada was has been generously described to us by his many illustrious disciples from whom we have been privileged to hear, either through their writings or directly from their mouths. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the foremost preacher of Krishna consciousness in the Western world, described his first meeting with Srila Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada, his spiritual master, and his conclusion, here is the right person who has taken up Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. And now it will be distributed. Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Prabhupada was famous as a Simha Guru, a powerful lion-like Guru, because of his uncompromising preaching of Krishna conscious philosophy. He considered it more compassionate to be interested in a person's spiritual welfare than in their material comfort. He said that a genuine spiritual master is like a butcher. Please hear very attentively. This is uncompromising. A genuine spiritual master is like a butcher who applies a sharp knife to the neck of the goat. The goat represents our innumerable material desires. The spiritual master stands behind this goat and lifts the sharp knife of spiritual instructions, ready to cut. Srila Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada considered a guru who simply flatters his disciple to be his disciple's enemy. So now talking about this compilation of his instructions, this book is called Amrit Vani. Amrit has several meanings, the simplest being nectar. But Amrit also means immortality, deathlessness. Vani means message, speech or sound, specifically Vedic sound, words or teaching. Thus, Amrit Vani means the teaching that delivers the nectar of immortality. All living beings hanker for blissful immortality, saddled as they are by the miseries of this world. It is the spiritual nectar that produces immortality. Such nectar is not found in this world. It is a product of the spiritual world, an epic Puran. The demigods and demons fought for nectar, produced by churning the milk. Okay. It is a bona fide spiritual master who gives us nectar. It is a spiritual master who brings this nectar from the spiritual world. Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur is a bona fide spiritual master and he can make us deathless because he is the personification of Shri Gaur Hari's teaching, his Gaur Shakti. He is Bhagwan. Bhagwan Bhaktisiddhānta. Why is Bhagwan? The personality of servitor Godhead. The Lord's pure devotee and associates are non-different from him. They share the Lord's qualities as they are addressed as Bhagwan, the servitor God. Only through them can the conditioned soul find liberation and enter the Supreme Lord's eternal loving service, the prime and only meaning of every living entity's life. So this book was compiled by Sri Bhakti Mukhya Bhagwat Maharaj, a learned and dear disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur Prabhupada. It follows the format of Srila Bhakti Vinod Vani Vaibhav, employing the same questions and answer system that was used to compile Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's teachings. So this is the background. So Sri Mukhya Bhagwat Maharaj has compiled it. Bhakti Mukhya Bhagwat Maharaj has compiled it. It was originally in Bengali, and after Sarasvatī Thakur's disappearance, the compilers received the blessing of Srila Sarasvatī Thakur's disciple in his work. Thus, it appears that the author's intended audience was seasoned and well-read devotees, although it is clear that newcomers will also find instructions useful, inspiring. Amrit Vani was in its original title Prabhupadera Updeshamrita. That was the Bengali title. If you still go to the Gaudiya Math, you will find this as Prabhupadera Updeshamrita. The nectarian teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. However, the titles seem to confuse a number of devotees who thought it must be a commentary. One moment. Oh, well. It must be a commentary on Srila Rupa Goswami's famous Updeshamrit. Previously, it was originally entitled as Prabhupada Updeshamrit. But we have one very famous title of Updeshamrit of Srila Rupa Goswami. To avoid such confusion, we have changed the title to Amrit Vani. These are the publishers, Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Okay. So we will come to the instructions. 108 essential instructions. So far the time permits, and I will also take the last and final instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. You can see that the font is large enough to be read.
Yes, Prabhuji, now it is.
Okay. So Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the congregational chanting of Krishna's holy name. Sri Mahaprabhu wrote these words in his Sixthashtakam. They are the ultimate goal of Gaudiya Matha. Sri Krishna, and what does Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavata. Kirtan also means that it is actually the glorification of the Supreme Lord. A devotee must aspire to continue to glorify, to propagate the Supreme Lord. Sri Krishna is the object of all worship. He is the only enjoyer. All others are enjoyed by him. What is the Bengali payar? That Krishna is the object of all worship. He is the only enjoyer. All others are enjoyed by him. Yes, Ramya, बोलिए.
एकला कृष्ण बाकी सब भृत्य.
हाँ, एकला ईश्वर कृष्ण.
हाँ, एकला ईश्वर.
Everyone other than the devotee of Hari are fools and killers of the self. What is the Sanskrit term? Everyone other than the devotees of Hari are fools and killers of the self. What it is called? What Srimad Bhagavatam says? What are killers of the self or killer of the soul called? Yes, Purushottam Prabhu?
They are Grahmadis.
No, Grahmadis is too simple term. In a sense, they are also killer of the soul. Yes, Sonika?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी आत्मघात
Atmaha. Srimad Bhagavatam says they are Atmaha. Actually, the soul can never be killed. Can anyone kill the soul? It is not possible. The soul is na jayate mriyate va. But one who is degrading the soul in the abominable species of life. So they are the killer of the soul. It is there in the Upanishads also. It is the duty of each resident of the Matha to learn tolerance. Where in Bhagavad Gita Krishna speaks about it? That whoever is practicing the path of devotional service must practice tolerance. Very prominent part of Bhagavad Gita where he begins the teaching, where Krishna says that tolerance is must. Yes, there Shri Prabhu?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
आगम पाइन अनित्य तांत दीक्षा भारत.
No, even more specific. That is Shīt and Ushna, Sukha and Dukha. He is not talking about tolerance there. Where Krishna is specifically talking about these qualities. To learn tolerance. We have done it so many times. Pranav? Where Krishna speaks very prominently, with very big, very sharp focus. That is the biggest verse in Bhagavad Gita. I have given you such a big hint. Amanitvam badam hitvam ahimsa shanti arjavam. All of it together. Amanitvam, not having the desire to receive honors from others. Adam hitvam, free from pride. Ahimsa. Ahimsa Prabhupada writes as, if you see this verse, Prabhupada writes ahimsa as tolerance. Ahimsa means to be able to tolerate the provoking situations This is 13.8 to 12. Shanti. Shanti is tolerance, sorry. Ahimsa is non-violence and Shanti is tolerance. So if one wants to have peace in his life, if he wants to peacefully practice Krishna consciousness, one has to learn tolerance. This is what Maharaj is teaching us. There are so many of his pastimes. Instead of maintaining faith in their own strength, the devotees who follow in Srila Rupa Goswami's footsteps attribute to their qualities to the original source. Can anyone give some example of this instruction? Instead of maintaining faith in their own strength, the devotees who follow in Srila Rupa Goswami's footsteps attribute to their qualities in the original source. What it means? Jaldi, bro, we will cover, we have to cover so many more. List some reference, list some verse or some bhajan. What is this principle? Have you understood this principle? Yes or no? Who has understood? This is the Amrit Vani. Then we will not be able to do much if you people keep silent. If you don't. Yes, Pranav?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
We know
Krishna.
that although Srila Prabhupada has all the strength to deliver in the Western world to preach, but he was fully dependent on Lord Krishna. In the Markandeya Bhagavat there was song, he prayed to Lord Krishna. We see that.
Yeah, not only Lord Krishna. Before that, Markine Bhagavad is Krishna Punna Tava Hove Bhai. He is praying to his spiritual master. Most important. Ekaki amar nahi paye bal. Hari naam sankirtan. Tumi kripa kari shraddha bindu diya. Complete dependence on the spiritual master. Not having, independent shelters of one's own ability, knowledge, experience, skill. This is very important. Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur is bringing it in the focus. Instead of maintaining faith in own strength, the devotee who follows in Srila Rupa footsteps, because we are all followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Those who cultivate mixed religious principle cannot serve the Supreme Lord. What is mixed religious principles? Quickly, one line. What is mixed religious principle? Yes? Yes, bro?
प्रभुजी ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम प्रभु.
Yeah, that is also there, but they are demigod worship. Even those who are worshippers of demigods. For them, it is not possible to move ahead. All of you should serve Hari together, keeping one goal in mind. So we can only serve the Supreme Lord if we are collective. We are united. A holy place is where topics about Lord Hari are being discussed. Not that you go in a place which is holy. The place itself converts to be holy if there is Krishna Katha. So you will see, wherever there was opportunity, or wherever not even an opportunity, Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur always spoke so focused way about Hari Katha. The Swarup of Hari Kirtan is Hari Katha. So wherever Hari Katha is taking place or wherever there is Hari Kirtan, that place converts itself to become Vrindavan. We do not perform pious or sinful acts, nor are we fools or mental speculators. See, we are the shoe carriers of the non-duplicitous devotees of Hari and are initiated into the mantra Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Always chant the holy names of Hari. What a profound statement. We are the shoe carriers of the non-duplicitous devotee of Hari and are initiated into mantra Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Such profound statement speaks about the consciousness and the clarity. Try to rectify yourself rather than blaspheming the nature of activities of others. That is my instruction. This is very important. We should not try to blame others. This blame game is completely self-destructive. It is Atma-ha in bhakti. Try to rectify yourself rather than blaspheming the nature of or activities of others. And Maharaj said that is my instructions. And we have to learn, we have to graduate, we have to come out of this mentality, this cobweb mentality of others being responsible. Our supreme occupation is to serve the residents of Vraja who are afflicted by separation from Krishna. That is what Madhure Ujjwal Premadhya. He came to give that Ujjwal Unnat Rasa Swabhakti Shriya. What is that rasa? Is Vipralamba Bhav. And Bhaktisiddhānta Maharaj is saying this is our supreme occupation to serve the residents of Praja. Not directly try to imitate them, but to serve them. An exalted devotee or Mahabhagavat knows that all others are his spiritual masters. See the statement. An exalted devotee or Mahabhagavata knows that all others are his spiritual masters. Therefore, an exalted Mahabhagavata is certainly Jagadguru, the spiritual master of the whole world. It is not Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. It is one who considers all others as his. That means he is willing to serve everyone. He has the desire and aspiration to serve everyone because he is thinking others to be superior. Such a person is Jagadguru. If we want to attain the ultimate goal of life, we must abandon. Oh my God. Look, it is open. We must abandon of popular opinion and hear the instructions of Vedic literature. We have to be precise than trying to be popular. Worldly people want to be popular, but they have no precision. Everyone should desire the ultimate goal of life. The Lord's intimate devotee have no desire other than to serve the lotus feet of Sri Rupa's followers. Same instruction. There is no way to connect ourselves with the transcendental object except by oral reception. This is very important. Our connection with the transcendental sound, with the spirit, is only by oral reception. The moment we have no protector, the object around us will turn into enemies and attack us. So if we don't have shelter of a Vaishnava, then we are in deep trouble. The moment we have no protector, the object around us will turn into enemies and attack us. Our only protector is Hari Katha spoken by genuine devotees. Maharaj very much emphasizes on the Hari Katha. Then very important instruction, a person who flatters cannot become a guru or preacher. What is the definition Maharaj has given? Who can be our guru or spiritual master? Yes, Ramya?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one who thinks everyone is his spiritual master and ready to serve them, he is a Jagat Guru.
No, that is the Mahabhagavata.
Hmm.
Maharaj compared the position of a spiritual master. Whom did he compare with? We just read it. Pradeep? Hear with attention, hear with heart. माननीय माता जी आप बताओ किसके साथ कंपेयर किया स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को? हरे कृष्ण बोलिए. देखिए अभी अभी ये हाल है, क्या याद रहेगी इंस्ट्रक्शन? बोलो दयाशील.
प्रभुजी बुचर
Yes, butcher. The spiritual master is like a butcher. And why is compared to a butcher?
प्रभुजी he can kill the goat goat like material desires which has been accumulated since immemorial time immemorial.
He's a butcher who places the big knife on the throat of the goat, which is like having so many material desires. So he cuts the aspiration of material enjoyment of the disciple. Then he is a spiritual master, not otherwise. Not one who flatters. He is not a spiritual master. A person who flatters cannot become a guru or preacher. Again, this one. It is better to live as a bird, animal, ant, or any other insect than to cheat. See, very, very prominent. It is better to live as a bird, animal, ant, or any other insect than to cheat. Only a person devoid of the propensity to cheat attains auspiciousness. So what we have to give up, we have to root out this cheating propensity. Then very profound Vaishnava. So how to be free from cheating? Next verse. Vaishnava is another name for simplicity. Saralta hi Vaishnavata. The servants of swan-like Vaishnavas are simple-hearted. That is why they are the best of the Brahmanas. It is the first duty of most compassionate soul to divert the wretched taste of the living entities. It is more beneficial to save even one soul from Mahamaya's prison house than to open millions of hospitals. Very, very profound. It is more beneficial to save even one soul from Mahamaya's prison than to open millions of hospitals. This outside people cannot understand. The association of those who have not developed their propensity to serve the Supreme Lord is never desirable. So, asat sanktya, even if it appears most pleasing. Preaching without practicing what one preaches is a limb of karma. Very strong. This is the line, Guru. Preaching without practicing what one preaches is a limb of karma. This is not bhakti. Our attachment for material life will decrease when we simply serve the Supreme Lord and His devotees. Our main disease is to accumulate objects not related to Krishna. It is asatsang. And who is a Vaishnava? Who is asatsangtya? We have not come to this material world to become carpenters or mechanics. We are simply the messenger of Mahaprabhu's teachings. We will not live in this world long. Our human birth will become successful if we give up our lives while chanting Hari's glories. So much again and again Maharaj will emphasize. is focus on Hari Katha, Hari Gungan. The dust from the lotus feet of Sri Rup, who fulfilled the desire of Sri Chaitanya Dev, is our most desirable goal of life. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Mora Sampada. In his final moments, he was absorbed, he was completely meditating on this bhajan of glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami when he took his final breath. This material world, which is averse to the Supreme Lord, is a painful testing place. This Dukhalayam. Tolerance, humility, and praising others all help us worship Lord Hari in this world. Why he was saying that tolerance is essential? Tolerance, humility, and praising others all help us worship Lord Hari in this world. We are given a father and mother in every lifetime, but we may not receive beneficial instructions in each lifetime. So who is more important? In any species of life, one may be born. So how he will take birth? There will be a seminal father and mother. That will be there in every life. But this Amritvani, this nectar of instruction, will not be there in every life. So this instruction is more important, most important. Externally, a devotee's activities and the mischief of a pseudo devotee may appear the same. Please hear very attentively. Externally, a devotee activities and the mischief of a pseudo devotee may appear to be the same. Pseudo devotee means non-devotee, one who is posing as a devotee, false person. But they are different. As different as the sky and earth, as different as milk from limestone mixed with water. Very Maharaj's analogy. You have seen limestone, na? Limestone समझते हैं ना? चूना. If you mix limestone in water, what it looks? What it resembles? It resembles like milk, but it is not milk. That is a huge difference. But similarly, Maharaj is speaking here that externally one may think that they are the same, but the devotee activity is different. One who mistakenly considers non-devotional propensities devotional will certainly get into trouble. It is like mistakenly cheating a blacksmith of steel. The end product will not be reliable. As soon as we learn about the truth, we should become fixed in it. We should not waste even a moment of time we have left in our life or sense gratification. On sense gratification. As soon as we learn about the truth, the supreme absolute truth, we should become fixed in it. We should not waste even a moment of time we have left in our lives on sense gratification. Rather, we should use all our time to worship Hari. Many people wrongly accept imitation, anukaran, as following anusara. You understand the difference between imitation and following in the footsteps? They are two separate things. To dress like Narad in a play is imitation, but to practice the devotional path Sri Narad displayed is following. Those who are constantly engaged in glorifying the topics of Hari are sadhus. Only those who are always busy in the Supreme Lord's service are sadhus. Only those whose aim, all other endeavors at pleasing Krishna are sadhus. But those who have no business other than to serve Krishna are sadhus. Such a profound definition of what is a sadhu. One who is satatam kirtayanto mam. Those who are always engaged in service. Ahetuki apratihata. Those whose aim, all endeavors are to pleasing Krishnas and sadhus. Mahatmanas tu mam partha. Only those who have no business other than to serve Krishna are sadhus. If Narayan personally gives himself away, he will still have something left to give. However, the Lord's devotee can give Narayan away completely. So the devotee's position is even higher. Do not become a spiritual master in order to become envious of others. Do not become a spiritual master to remain absorbed in sense gratification. If instead you become a non-duplicitous servant of Krishna and attain his mercy, you have nothing to fear. Unless and until we accept the spiritual master as the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, as non-different from him, we will not be able to chant the holy name. Very, very strong and clear philosophical conclusion. I'm repeating. Unless and until we accept the spiritual master as the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, as non-different from him, we will not be able to chant the holy names. To teach us how to serve him, the Supreme Lord incarnated as the spiritual master. Very important. There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna says that I personally appear as the spiritual master. 1 second, I'm telling you the reference. One second. Yes, this is 6, 1, 16 and 17 Srimad Bhagavatam. Manoram, show this verse. 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 16th and 17th verse. Very powerful verse. What a special position is there with the spiritual master. What Krishna considers the position of a spiritual master, he is himself declaring. No, not this one moment. Charyam mam vijaniyat navmaniyat. Sorry, this is quoted there. It is 11, 17, 27. 11, 17, this is part of Uddhav Gita. 11, 17, 27. Yes. Krishna says, Acharya mam vijaniyat na avamaniyet karhichit na marta buddhya asyus. Na, okay, come down. Na mrita buddhya asuyet. Asuyet sarvadevo mayo guru. Krishna says, sarvadevo mayo guru. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. This is Acharya mam vijaniyet na avamanayet. Avamanana is to dishonor or disrespect. Karhichit, never. Why? Because he is Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. One should not envy him, thinking him as an ordinary man, for he is the, come down, he is the representative of all the demigods. No, it is not properly translated. It is Sarvadeva Maya Guru. Okay. This verse appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1.46. His Divine Grace Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivajikacharya Stotar Shat Srimad A.C. Bhaktisiddhānta Swami has commented in this verse as follows. This is the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Lord Sri Krishna when he was questioned by Uddhav regarding the four social and spiritual orders of society. He was specifically instructing how a brahmachari should behave under the care of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. This is very important. He is like a parent. Without the attentive service of his parents, a child cannot grow to manhood. Similarly, without the care of a spiritual master, one cannot rise to the plane of transcendental service. A spiritual master is also called Acharya, a transcendental professor of spiritual science. Manu Samhita 2.14 explains the duties of an Acharya, describing the bona fide spiritual master, accepts charge of disciple, teaches them the Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies, and give them their second birth. The ceremony performed to initiate a disciple into the study of spiritual science is called Upaniti, or the function that brings one nearer to the spiritual master. One who cannot be brought nearer to the spiritual master cannot have a sacred thread, and thus he is indicated to be a Shudra. Okay, come down. Come down. Okay, yes. This paragraph. Only out of his immense compassion does the personality of Godhead reveal himself as the spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealing of an Acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. One moment. Okay. Out of his immense compassion, does the personality of Godhead reveal himself as the spiritual master. So internally, he is representative as Paramatma, and externally, he manifests as the spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealings of an Acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee who is called Ashraya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter. If one poses himself as an Acharya, but does not have an attitude of servitorship to the Lord, he must be considered an offender. And this offensive attitude disqualifies him from being an Acharya. The bona fide spiritual master always engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this test, he is known to be a direct manifestation of the Lord and a genuine representative of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Such a spiritual master is known as Acharya Dev. Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur, Sri Prabhupada, when he gives his offering, I've read that offering. In Mumbai, Sri Prabhupada gave that offering. So he mentions Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur as Acharya Dev. Influenced by envious temperament and dissatisfied because of an attitude of sense gratification, Mandanar criticizes a real Acharya. In fact, however, a bona fide Acharya is non-different from the personality of Godhead, and therefore to envy such an Acharya is to envy the personality of Godhead himself. This will produce an effect subversive to transcendental realization. Okay. So very beautiful. You can note it, you can read. These are very, very important verses. Acharya ma vijaniyet, navamaniyet. Never ever to disrespect or disregard him. Why? Because he is the direct representation of the Supreme Person. Actually, it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its most merciful form manifest as the spiritual master. So unless we, and until, so both the words he's saying, unless and until we accept the spiritual master as the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, as non-different from him, we will not be able to chant the holy name. So the power or the fuel to chant the holy name is coming from the spiritual master. That is why I said, Ekaki amar nahi paebal, Hari Nama Sankirtan. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya. Otherwise, not possible. To teach us how to serve him, the Supreme Lord incarnated as the spiritual master. The living entities will never benefit by studying hundreds of books or by acting whimsically. Where Prabhupada writes, Prabhupada has taken, you see, so many purports of Prabhupada are from these instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. Bhaktisiddhānta Maharaj is saying the living entity will never benefit by studying hundreds of books or by acting whimsically. Prabhupada uses the same statement in Bhagavad Gita's very important verse, Tadvidhi Paripatena. He says one cannot make any advancement. The same thing. One cannot make any advancement by independent study of books. Which books? Spiritual books. In the present age, it is common to be cheated by those who misguide others in the name of religion. So the cheaters will get cheated. The confidential purport of the undisputed truth that is spoken boldly will be realized only after hundreds of lifetimes or even hundreds of yugas. Unless we spend hundreds of gallons of hard-earned blood, it will not be possible to make others understand the truth. Very important. It's a very, very important aspect of why we are not able to convince others, or why we are not able to expand. Why cannot we make other non-devotees become devotees? Because here Maharaj is revealing, he is exposing us. He says that unless we spend hundreds of gallons of hard-earned blood, it will not be possible to make others understand the truth. Or to make someone a non-devotee a devotee, what we have to do? We have to spend hundreds of gallons of our own blood. In terms of what? In terms of patience, in terms of tolerance. Then only it is possible. I will take till 50. It is 108. We won't be able to 9:30 till 9:30 maximum. The Supreme Lord does not accept items offered by those who do not chant 100,000 holy names a day. 100,000 holy names is the Lakhpati. How many of you are Lakhpati? Any Lakhpati here? Supreme Lord does not accept. But only it is because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy that we have the opportunity to offer, and because Prabhupada has reduced it, he will accept. The Supreme Lord will accept. Association is the main stimulus for developing the desire to worship Hari. Very important. If we associate with non-devotees, we will make material advancement. If we associate with devotees, our propensity to worship Hari will be progressively enhanced. Association with devotees is the most important asset of the human form of life. Please write it down. Maharaj is saying, association with devotees is the most important asset of the human form of life. Please do not become averse to it. As soon as we feel the inconvenience of mundane life, the Lord becomes our shelter and awards us the qualification to engage in his service. As soon as we become detached. As long as we are filled with anarthas, we will not become fortunate enough to attain the service of Sri Radha's lotus feet. Those who are unqualified by their anarthas, but who eagerly discuss the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Worshipper Sri Radha, are certainly sense enjoyers, covered materialists, or prakrit sahajiyas. Very heavy. See, those who are unqualified by the anarthas, but who discuss the transcendental pastime of the supremely worshipable Sri Radha. So people are doing all this Radha Radha and thinking that they are very advanced. What Maharaj is saying, these are sense enjoyers, covered materialists, or prakrit sahajiyas. When all anarthas are removed while chanting the holy names, then the form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord automatically manifest. There is no need to endeavor artificially to remember the Lord's form, qualities, and pastime. All of you should preach the teachings of Sri Rup and Raghunath with great enthusiasm. This is one of the most important final instructions. All of you should preach the teachings of Sri Rup and Raghunath with great enthusiasm. Our most desirable goal is to become a particle of dust at the lotus feet of the followers of Sri Rupa. Do not give up the worship of Hari, even if you have to face hundreds of dangers, criticism, or harassments. Do not become discouraged by seeing that most of the world people do not accept the truth. Neither give up your worship of Hari, nor you speaking of Krishna Katha, your life and soul. Always chant Hari's name while thinking yourself lower than the straw in the street and being more tolerant than a tree. Again, so much is emphasizing on tolerance as a tree. We are not interested in becoming excellent workers or devoted to religious practices. Our only goal is to become a particle of dust at the lotus feet of Sri Rup, birth after birth. May we never become indifferent to performing the sacrifice of Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Simply remaining progressively and unswervingly attached to this sacrifice will bring us all perfections. All of you should boldly preach the teachings of Sri Rup Raghunath with great enthusiasm under their guidance. If I give up preaching the truth, fearing that speaking the plain truth will make me unpopular, it means I have given up the authorized Vedic path and accepted the unauthorized non-Vedic path. I will have become godless, it means I have no faith in God. The Supreme Lord has two representatives in this material world, transcendental sound vibration, holy name, and the Doti form, Jeti form, who enjoys eternal spiritual pastime. We serve the Lord's deity form by chanting Lord's holy name. This is very important. The highest form of worship is by chanting the holy names. We serve the Lord's deity by chanting the Lord's holy names. Consciousness is served only by consciousness. The Lord's devotee call him by chanting his holy name for his pleasure. The deity who performs transcendental pastimes is Vaikuntha, is the merciful incarnation of the Lord's eternal original form in this world. The deity is the direct manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vaishnavas are not ideal worshippers who imagine that God has either a material form or no form at all. So we discuss at least 50% of it. Very, very strong. Most important aspects to take out is to remain in association of devotees and to always feel gratitude to the spiritual masters and try to remain a humble follower. रूप रघुनाथे पते होई व्याकुति. When there is that eagerness to follow in the footsteps of the principles given by Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Hare Krishna. So I'll end here. From tomorrow we will start Bhagavatam. Tomorrow I will be in Vrindavan. I'll be coming tomorrow, Purushottam. I'll phone you. If you need Gita, I'll bring. If you need at all, keep some Gita for you extra. If you have you been able to distribute? I don't think you are going out and distributing. नहीं जा रहा ना. आसान नहीं है, बहुत मुश्किल है. सेल्फलेस होके भगवान की सेवा करना, अपना कंफर्ट को छोड़ना, फिर उसके बाद अपनी ईगो को त्यागना सरल नहीं है. सरल क्या, संभव ही नहीं है, मुश्किल है. आप जा रही हो रम्या?
आज नहीं गई थी प्रभु जी, आज आ गई थी क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक स्पोर्ट्स मीट होने वाला है तो लोग कुछ खास थे नहीं.
करो करो, करते रहो. हमारे प्योरिफिकेशन के लिए, अपने खुद के प्योरिफिकेशन के लिए. भले ही स्कोर आया चाहे ना आए, स्कोर नहीं भी आएगा लेकिन हमारा स्कोर प्योरिफिकेशन का बढ़ जाएगा. Anyone wants to say something? Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur. Yesterday class has recording.
यस प्रभु जी.
Okay, Pranav, can you select that song which Ravindra Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji sang? It was very, very, inspiring and motivating. And send us that video. You have to just clip it. You have the, skill how to do it.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And can the titles also come? I mean the verses. Is it possible for you to... Purushottam does that. Purushottam knows it very well. Purushottam Prabhu,
यस वो
आप डालते हो ना जब भी हम हुआ का? अभी तो वीडियो डालना बंद कर दिया हम हुआ का. कुछ नहीं बोलती क्या? वो पढ़ नहीं रही है?
पढ़ती है वो अभी लर्न कर रही है.
अच्छा, डालते रहो बच्चे का वीडियो.
हम
हरे कृष्णा हुआ.
हरे कृष्णा.
कल मिलेंगे आपसे. कल आएंगे हम आपके पास. हाँ? आपके जगन्नाथ जी से मिलने और आपसे मिलने. माला बना रही हो?
नहीं
नहीं नहीं बना रही. सर्दी लग रही है. ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच. श्री अमृतवाणी की जय. श्री भक्तिसिद्धांत ठाकुर की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. उपस्थित सभी भक्तवृंद की जय. निताई गौर प्रेमानंद. हरे कृष्णा.